football coach Michael Haywood at the half. Football team showing some good strides in the offseason, making some good signings. Here's Jefferson, 7, 6, 5. Jefferson to the lane. Jefferson going up strong. And he is 5. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. And a chance to bring the Tigers to within 6 going inside the locker room.
Trey Jefferson, one of them guys, like I said, the growth, the maturity, the leadership that you've seen that's been taking place game by game, and especially on this Alabama road trip, seeing it firsthand on the road. Trey Jefferson is becoming, he knows in heart to heart that he's the best point guard in the conference. And he knows if they want to win, he has to be that extended coach, a floor general for Mike Davis for this TSU team.
DeMontre Jefferson shooting 69% on the season from the charity stripe. Added to his total right there. The lead is now 6 for the Braves. Dueling to Mosby. Mosby with the three-quarter shot. Off the glass, no good. 45-39, and the Tigers trail going inside the locker room. Marcus Smith is going to have assistant coach Donnie Marsh as he exits the floor. Let's check in with Marcus Smith on the sidelines with defensive coordinator Donnie Marsh.
Here with assistant coach Donnie Marsh coaching that first half. The Braves got off to an early start, particularly led by Vance and the shooter Maurice Howard. How do you plan to contain them in the second half?
We got to play with energy. We got to understand our game plan. They came out with way more energy than we had. They came at us. They were in attack mode. We were back on our heels, didn't guard anybody. They got easy looks. This is a good offensive team.
Coach, one of the things I'm noticing out there is this is a real emotional game. The regular season championship is on the line. This game, has that been in the heads of the players? Has that why they've been a little bit riled up today?
I can't answer that. I'm not sure, but I would say the bottom line is just come and play. We know that Alcorn can't go to postseason, so this is their championship. So they're playing that way. We've got to play with the same chip on our shoulder.
In the second half, quickly, what are some adjustments you're planning to make?
It's one word, energy. We got our energy, and I'll give a second word. We got to come to fight.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Appreciate it.
Akil, Nick, back to you guys.
Thanks, Marcus Smith on the sidelines and assistant coach Donnie Marsh. Akil, we'll take it into the break. 45-39, the Tigers trail by 6. You're watching Fighting Tiger basketball here on the TSU Sports Network.
This is where crisp, smooth, refreshing Bud Light happens. But it is right here that it becomes an invitation. Making this not only 12 ounces of refreshment, but also 12 ounces of inspiration. To be more up for whatever than ever.
Bud Light.
The perfect beer for reading and unleashing a whole world of whatever in the name of a ridiculously good time. If you're up for whatever, look for your message on Bud Light bottles. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
Think.
Question.
Cut.
Compare.
Learn something new.
Debunk something old.
Hit a wall.
And think again.
Model.
Plan. Spin.
Discard.
Now breathe. And keep going.
Work till it's late.
Then early.
Then late again. Smile. Laugh.
Rest.
Regroup.
Use technology.
Use your hands.
Use everything you've got.
That's what it takes.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
Uptown Diamond offers an experience like no other. From the 100% customization to the true lifetime guarantee, we identify the traditional 4 C's: cut, color, clarity, and carat. But capture is something only Uptown Diamond provides. Capture is a diamond's intangible ability to accurately reflect you and the special person receiving your custom jewelry. You've captured her heart. Now, take her breath away.
I'm Percy Crusoe. If you haven't been to French's Chicken, or if it's been a while since your last visit, no place does chicken like Frenchie's. Our chicken is seasonized with our blend of Creole herbs and spices. Our side dishes include the tastiest greens and red beans and rice you'll ever put in your mouth. Try our new King Roll rotisserie chicken at our Scott Street location. Come on by Frenchie's Chicken, where the taste lasts forever.
Hello, I'm Alan Helfman, Vice President of River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge. This is my friend and customer, Miss Georgia Provost. River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge has the all-new, totally redesigned Chrysler 300. River Oaks Chrysler Jeep and Dodge has the all-new
on TSU Sports Network. Mark Smith here with TSUSN University football head coach, Coach Mike Haywood. Coach, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you doing?
Trying to enjoy a great game of TSU basketball.
I tell you what, man, the game is
real quick, let's talk about TSU football. You wrapped up your first season. Just real quick, you had an agenda coming in. Revisit that. What was it? Do you think your job was completed?
Well, I think that our kids learned how to compete. I don't think that we learned how to win. I appreciate the 28 seniors that have left out the foundation in which they have built to teach our guys how to play and compete because they're doing this game. And we lost by 4 points, we lost by 7 points. There's been a couple games in which we really didn't have an opportunity. But I think they have gotten significantly better. Our fourth quarter program, in which we've been in over the last couple of months, they have gotten tremendously better. We had a 36% success ratio, went up to 50-some%, 85%, and we finished up today with 100%. So they are learning now how to compete and how to win in challenging situations.
And as you move forward from the offseason to spring ball, just recap the last season, what are some of the things that you learned about this team and then that you could take moving forward?
Well, one of the things from our offensive point of view is that we did a really good job of running the football. And I think that we're going to get significantly better with some of the new schemes that we're going to put in the spring. At the same time, we didn't do a very good job of passing the ball. We had to be a 5-step drop, or a 4-step drop. We didn't do a very good job. We're going to have to get better at that. And it was great. Defensively, I think the various looks in which we gave guys really had complexity to it and caused a lot of problems. We were able to stop the pass, stop the run. On the other hand, we gave up too many deep plays and we're spinning the safety in the box. We have to make sure that we are gap sound. There were a couple situations that we got hit with big plays and we weren't gap sound as we went back and got into the game.
Some of the things that you've been saying, you've turned the team around to give them an idea that, hey, you're competing, you can win, you can actually have a chance. There was a lot of games to where if we did one thing different, we get a totally different record. So with that being said, your recruitment process, what are some of the positions that you're looking to fill that you're bringing in?
Well, from a defensive point of view, we needed to get one corner, essentially get the corner. We need to get a safety that can come in here and contribute right away, which we're successful. The primary position for linebackers, because we lost so defensive ends that did a really good job for us. And I really think that the young people which we have coming in will be able to help. We have some early signees. We have 3 guys that have already started showing that they are there is Blair, wide receiver from Florida State. Goods, JC guy, defensive end for us. And Eli Odom, quarterback from Virginia, came out of the Scotty Kids. Have done a tremendous job at this point. Now it's time for us to go out on March 20th after we start our spring practice.
You touched on it just now. Practice. What are some of the things you're going to be looking for, especially with your quarterback play, Jay Kristoff, coming back after his season ending injuring in the late class last season?
Well, I have to compliment Jay and medical staff, everyone, teams that work with Jay, because he's ahead of schedule. We didn't plan on having him in spring practice until he's coming back. And the bottom line, but he's going to be out there in spring practice, and he's been out in our fourth quarter program doing a tremendous job. We have Cameron Davis, who's going to be back after he had surgery on his wrist. He was out the entire season. We have Eli Odom that's coming back. So we have some guys that are going to be able to compete for a job. And it's going to put pressure on Jay, but it'll only make him better. And it's, as we tell him all the time, that the opportunity to gain a job is there because every position is open. No one has a position. No matter how well Sean Jones played last year, we want someone to push him to get better or take over his position.
Coach, when I reminisce on last season, we played the Prairie View, the Southerns, the Grambling. The SWAC West is a tough conference. It's a tough conference. Looking at the SWAC East, the word was, hey, if TSU was in the SWAC East, they would have been in the postseason. They would have had a chance to compete for a SWAC championship. Do you listen to any of that talk, or do you just worry about we're in the West and we have to win these games that we have at hand?
I worry about reality. And reality is that we're in the West and we have a lot of strong competition in the West. We have some really good football coaches with some good student athletes. It gives us an opportunity for us to compete, an opportunity for us to get better in each and every day. And the only thing that we have to worry about is the person that we're going to play that week. We have to be the best team on that field for 60 minutes. And unfortunately, we weren't. And we played some really good football teams, some really good, well-coached football teams.
Well, Coach, that's one of the sayings last season. 1-0 each game. As we get back to basketball, second half is underway, just under 3.5 minutes. Coach, you're a football guy, but judging off this game, you gave me some intel earlier before we started. What do you think the Tigers got to do defensively out here?
I'll tell you what, I like the attitude of Coach Davis getting after the official. The official had a little bit too much testosterone because you don't give a tech to the head coach.
You don't give a tech to the guy when he's talking to a different ref. I mean, that's not even your call.
But he's trying to send a message that this is my court. So I understand the situation, but I think that the pressure in which they put on, they did a tremendous job. That point guard number 5 right there,
Maurice Howard.
He's on fire. You got to take the ball out of his hand. Deny him the basketball. But I'm no basketball coach. I am just a fan. And March Madness is coming up, and I can't wait.
Do you have anybody that you're particularly looking at for March Madness? Who do you think is going to take it all?
I don't know. You have to look at. You got to look at North Carolina. North Carolina's playing good. Gonzaga's going to make it to the Sweet 16, then get bumped out probably. But UCLA. I don't know if they play any defense, but they play great offense.
If we start talking about UCLA and Lonzo Ball, we'd be here all day.
They play great offense. I don't know if they play defense well enough to win, though.
Well, look, we'll see. March right around the corner. Hey, guys, Texas Southern head coach, Coach Michael Haywood. Coach, thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Next up, Nick Strong and Akil Williams. You're listening to TSU.
Welcome back to Tiger Basketball here on the TSU Sports Network. Nick Strong alongside Akil Williams, Marcus Smith, hanging out with Coach Haywood at the half, talking about some recruits.
Great
It's always time for recruiting. Let's get into some of these replays here from the first half, Akil.
As we see right now, the screen is currently frozen with the replay. You see right now.
Well, that's because Zach Lofton from Minnesota.
Exactly. Froze the internet.
Froze it.
But look at the key stats in the first half. You see 17 for 37 shooting for Alcorn State, 46%. 15 for 34 for TSU, 44%. And the key stats that stands out to me is second chance points, 12 for Alcorn State, 6 for TSU, and bench points. 20 for Alcorn, 5 for TSU, and that was due to Maurice Howard's three-point shooting. 4 threes, 14 points in that first half, with 6 points from Reginald Johnson off the bench as well.
45-39, and the Tigers have some work to do here. They've got to fight their uphill battle here. 45-39, the Tigers lead it, trail by 6. Jalen McLeod. Trey Jefferson with 11 points. Here's Lofton. Lofton to the lane, and he's fouled.
You see the late whistle. Zach Lofton get hit in the head, calling for the ball. I see him clap for it, calling for the ball. Great foul, great time to charge a foul for Zach Lofton.
Zach Lofton to the free throw line, shooting 2. 165 for 206 on the year. My goodness, that's a lot of free throws. At the halftime, we heard from Coach Marsh, but what do you think Coach Davis said on the offensive side? How did the Tigers get back into this game offensively?
Well, I think it was a seesaw battle we've seen like the first 10 minutes of the first half, but then due to the shooting of Maurice Howard from three-point range, that extended the lead for Alcorn.
9 points.
Exactly. So
9 straight points.
Exactly. So TSU didn't really do anything wrong on offense. It was just a shooting of Alcorn State. But once they figured out to play aggressive basketball with Alcorn, they found a way to get back into the game.
Marquise Vance, DeAndre Davis couldn't put it inside the basket. Here's Kevin Scott, left side. Jefferson thought about it. Driving to the lane. Looks for McLeod. No. And loose ball by Jones. Jefferson looks for Jones. Bucket.
Great find. Great dime from Trey Jefferson to be patient and find Marvin Jones in the alley-oop.
45-43. Tigers trail by 2. First place on the line here. Streak versus streak. Alcorn, 11 straight victories. And if you listen to that broadcast Saturday night, I apologize. DeAndre Davis tried to shoot over Jones. Tigers with a chance to tie right here. McLeod, count it.
There you go. There you go. Great drive from Jalen McLeod. Great nifty move in the air to switch, reversing for the left-hand layup.
45-45. Fresh ball game. Here's Jones with the steal. Jefferson looking for Scott. And he's fouled. Great job there to stop Trey Jefferson. You don't want to let him drive to the lane and create any plays.
Not at all. Especially not Trey Jefferson. You don't want to press Trey Jefferson. You don't want to get 2 feet close to him because he will break you down into pieces like we've seen throughout the whole season. And great run from TSU on a 6-0 run in the second half.
On the other side of the basketball, head coach Montez Robinson takes the Tigers and takes the Braves into the locker room. What do you think he tells his team?
Well, I'd say they played great first half basketball. They just got to execute some more. They could have finished that first half off better, but they finished off. They had a great first half, just carried on to the second half.
TSU baseball team walking past us. Remember my days of baseball here at Texas Southern. Here's Kevin Scott looking for Jefferson, looks for McLeod. Here's the motion around the outside. McLeod takes it. No good. Rebound. Here come the Braves. Maurice Howard resets. Here's Davis. Mosby working on McLeod. There's Johnson. Johnson can't put it in, but Kevin Scott can't hang on to it. And I think the Tigers may have got away with one there. Nevertheless, the Tigers get the basketball.
You love what you're seeing right now. If you're a Tigers fan, you love what you're seeing. 6-0 run in the second half. You love how Trey Jefferson is running the court, running the offense, and you love the aggressiveness of Jalen McLeod.
45-45. Next basket takes the lead. McLeod gets it into Scott. Scott with the float. And Scott, I think there may be an offensive foul. Kevin Scott with the offensive foul. There's an injury on the floor, and it's big DeAndre Davis. Timeout on the floor. They'll talk about it. We'll keep it right here, Akil. And it's about time for the fans out there to start voting for your player of the game.
It is. It is right now. You see, so far, Zach Lofton has 12 points, along with DeMontre Jefferson, 11. It's kind of tough right now. It's up in the air. We've seen the women's game. It was easy with George Kenderson unanimously. George Kenderson, you had some votes as well. So maybe in the men's game, you'll probably get some more votes. Vote for hashtag, vote for Nick Strong. But nah, seriously, I think right now it's up in the air. It's a tied game. If TSU could pull it off and win, depending on how the game goes, you look at either Zach Lofton or Trey Jefferson.
The Alcorn State Braves, Akil, come into this contest 13-3 in SWAC play, 16-11 overall. 11-game win streak, have not lost since Monday night, January 16th. That's almost a month and some change there. This team is hot rolling into the end of the season.
Exactly, and you see it carrying on to this game. 11-game winning streak. TSU's on a streak of their own, but they're not on the Alcorn State winning streak because they did it at home on the road since January for almost 2 whole months. And you look at Alcorn, their shooting has got this streak rolling. They are in this ball game because of the three-point shooting. And they just have depth all around for Alcorn. A lot of seniors on this team. They know they can't go to the postseason, but this is their championship right now to claim, to say, hey, we didn't go to the postseason, but hey, at least we got the regular season championship under our belts.
Montez Robinson in 2 seasons, Akil 26-8 in conference play. Braves hadn't had winning back-to-back seasons since 2001, 2002, and the 2002-2003 campaign. That's a long time.
It's a long time. If you're a Braves fan, you hate to see that. It sucks to see that your team could be great all season long. 26-8 record with this Alcorn State Braves, and 13-3 this season. And it sucks to see that you put on this hard work in all season, prepare for the regular season and the tournament, and you just can't go. It sucks.
Denzel Doolin couldn't create the shot. Here's Jefferson. Shot is up from the right elbow. Kevin Scott tried to put it back. Mosby on the push. And they're gonna mark Marvin Jones down with the foul. 45-45 your score. And the Tigers and the Braves are tied. First place on the line. We'll be right back. You're watching Fighting Tiger Basketball on the TSU Sports Network.
Uptown Diamond offers an experience like no other. From the 100% customization to the true lifetime guarantee, We identify the traditional 4 C's: cut, color, clarity, and carat. But capture is something only Uptown Diamond provides. Capture is a diamond's intangible ability to accurately reflect you and the special person receiving your custom jewelry. You've captured her heart. Now, take her breath away.
Fans getting into the contest here. Nice crowd tonight. Greek night here at H&P Arena. Also School of Communications night. And the fans come out in droves.
It's a great night overall. You look at the crowd, you look at the Greeks. School of Communication night on the biggest game of the season for TSU. Regular season championship is on the line. Thursday night basketball, it doesn't get any better than this league.
Yeah, the first week of the season is always either a Tuesday, Thursday swing or a Monday, Wednesday swing. Then that last week always concludes with the Thursday, Saturday swing. Jalen McLeod driving into the lane. Here's Lofton. Oh my goodness.
Great layup.
47-46, and the Tigers lead it by 1 here. Here's Davis. Mosby into the lane. Mosby gets his own rebound, throws it off the hook, and puts it in the bucket. Tigers trail it by 1. They've got a chance to take the lead on this possession. Here's Lofton. Oh my goodness, with the move. Lofton off the backboard. Let's go down to Marcus Smith on the sidelines.
Guys, after what was once a 12-point lead, the Tigers now have a 1-point lead, and that's due to them sprinting back, something that Coach Davis has been talking about. They're jogging back looking like lackadaisical, and they're trying to find their man. He said, that ain't going to work if you want to win this game. You have to sprint back, find your man, close out, and not allow any open shots. That's something that they have to do. They just took the lead again. It's going to be back and forth going down to the wire. But Nick and Kill, we're in for a good one. Back to you guys.
Zach Lofton, no. Kevin Scott the rebound. Going up back strong. And couldn't put it inside the bucket. Talking about sprinting back on defense, Akil, you remember those playground days where the cherry picker just likes to stays down court and, not play any defense. And, but Coach Davis is a little different here. You've got to play your defense here at this contest. And Coach Marsh is the same on the bench as well.
Exactly. You have a Coach Marsh that's, I say, the defensive guru and all the swag in HBCU basketball. And you add that with Coach Mike Davis, who loves toughness, gritty, aggressiveness. There's no cherry picker. You better not snowbird, we call it snowbird, in pickup basketball. None of that. Coach Davis did not want to see none of that at all, along with Coach Marsh.
Here's a shot by McLeod. Bucket! Jalen McLeod gives the Tigers a 2-point lead.
Great pass, great rotation, the swinging it to Jalen McLeod from Kevin Scott and Trey Jefferson to knock down an open baseline 3.
Here's Dooley. Dooley misses from outside. And a quick offensive foul. Akil, the Braves have not defeated the Tigers since 2008. They came out 74-70. It was overtime in Alcorn.
Wow. A 9-year drought. And
10-year drought winning here in Houston, Texas. March 3rd, 2007.
Wow.
And the assistant coach, Delvin Thompson, who's on the bench now for the Alcorn State Braves, scored 16 in that game.
Man, Alcorn is looking for some bad blood. They looking to end this streak, end the drought against TSU in this big matchup.
There's Scott. Scott into the lane. Scott with the shot. Fadeaway jumper is good. Tigers take a 4-point lead here just that quick. There's Dooley going baseline. Shot is swatted by Marvin Jones. Oh my gosh.
Look out.
Trey Jefferson. Count the basket.
Momentum, momentum, momentum. We talked about that in the pregame. That's what it is right now for TSU. The crowd is into it. Now they get fast break buckets.
Shot is up by Vance. Rebound Lofton. He has McLeod on his left. And great foul there by Marquise Vance to stop the transition. I'm looking at an all-star cast standing in the corner. Kevin Allen, Kevin Granger, and Kevin Adams. Those two guys played basketball here at Texas Southern, Kevin Granger and Kevin Adams. And they were some stars.
From 92 and 96, Kevin Granger, numbers hung up in the Raptors. We knew what happened in that era. They almost knocked off, had one of the greatest NCAA tournament history. You know what team was that, Nick?
University of Arkansas, the Razorbacks.
Yes, sir.
Here's Lofton. He'll have to reset up top to Jefferson. Jefferson driving to the lane. And Kevin Scott on the rebound, going up strong. Yes, count the bucket. Tigers extend the lead to 8. Head coach Montez Robinson is going to let his Braves play through it. Here's Davis. And Stephen Bennett is whistled for the foul. 58-50 your score. And the Tigers lead it by 8. We'll be right back. You're watching Fighting Tiger Basketball here on the TSU Sports Network. Welcome back to Fighting Tiger Basketball here at the H&PE Arena. Tigers and the Braves fighting for the top seed as the Ocean of Soul plays the sound. Professor Gibson. The Ocean of Soul. Ever so famous.
Best band in the nation.
You're not a band guy, Kiel? You didn't try out for the band? You won the crab during that first week, man?
Well, you know, I wasn't really into the band. I was more into the sports. I wanted to play sports. You know, drumline had a little bit of inspiration, but I didn't want to take it that far.
DeAndre Davis hits his first free throw. DeAndre Davis, a 62% free throw shooter from Spotsylvania, Virginia. Hits both of them. The lead is cut to 6. Here's McLeod into Lofton. Shot is blocked. Bennett. And he's fouled.
A lot of aggression on that last possession right there. Zach Lofton going up. Couldn't get the foul. Stephen Bennett got blocked but got the foul on his end.
Stephen Bennett to the free throw line to shoot 2. Stephen Bennett from Lake Station, Indiana. 55% free throw shoot on the year. Free throw is up, free throw is no good. Tigers still lead it by 6. Stephen Bennett trying to extend that lead. No good. Braves come away with it here. Here's the back door to Howard. Davis lets it fly. Yes. 54. Actually, they're going to count it a 2. Foot was on the line. I thought it was a 3.
You have Alcorn State. Everybody on this team can shoot. You're running with like an 9-man rotation. At least 6 of those guys can shoot the long ball.
Here's McLeod. Buckets! 61-54, and the Tigers lead it by 7. Here's Davis again. Trying to get it inside to Big Vance. Vance puts a move on Kevin Scott. Just a big body, Akil, just a big body.
Just a big body. Like I said, Marquise Vance can score from the perimeter, mid-range. If you need to post up, he causes mismatches like we seen on that one, posting up Kevin Scott, the smaller defender.
Here's Jefferson. Three-point shooters in the game here for the Tigers. 5 left on the shot clock. Jefferson takes it. Can't hang on to it. Lofton with the rebound. Lofton for 2.
Great hustle. Great hustle. Zach Lofton wanted that ball that game in that possession. Zach Lofton got off the offensive rebound, putting the layup up.
DeAndre Davis in and out the bucket. Last touch by the Braves. And Fighting Tiger basketball.
And now you see TSU with a 7-point lead, 63-56. If you're TSU, you got to keep the car rolling. You got to keep driving that car. If you're TSU.
Clock issue there. He'll restart the play. 63-56. Any late adjustments here for the Tigers?
If you're TSU right now, you're shooting over 46% from the field. Over 35% from three-point range.
Here's Kevin Scott. No good.
So adjustments really just keep pounding it. Keep going to the hole. Keep fighting for those extra buckets, and you'll be all right. And you'll end this game off with a regular season championship under your belt. You just have to stay aggressive.
You don't get many conference games with a championship on the line with the two teams who's at the same building. You know, there's always well, if that team wins and this team wins, you know, but this is the game right here that decides it all.
Especially with 2 games left in the season. It's not even the last game of the season. The championship is on the line. It just shows how great these two teams been all season long.
Tigers win, they clinch. Here's Zach Lofton with the step back. No good. And the ball is going to stay right here. The Tigers win, they'll win outright. If the Braves win, they still have to win Saturday night pending, you know, if they win, they'll clinch it. Because the Tigers have a chance to 15 wins, and Alcorn State with 15, but they've got to win both nights.
And I always had a theory, if TSU wins tonight, you have the outright championship, you got the #1 seed. I always had a theory, do you rest, this is not pro sports, I understand all of that, but do you rest your players, not so much, don't let them play at all, but probably bring down the minutes just a little bit going into the tournament time?
Well, you'll face a tough Southern team Saturday night. Just kind of depends. Coach Davis has been shuffling the lineup, the starting lineup that is, anyway throughout the year. Here's Howard inside. And great job by Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones swats it away. Media timeout coming up real soon after the 8-minute mark. A.J. Mosby to inbound the basketball. Howard sets up the offense. He'll shoot it from outside. No good. He's been kind of cold lately. He sees Zach Lofton, does Kevin Scott. Lofton for 2. Shot is blocked. Here's Vance. Reginald Johnson goes up strong and 1. And Marvin Jones will be whistled for the foul.
Just a bigger body on that play. Bigger body, Reginald Johnson got the taller but smaller defender in Marvin Jones to commit the foul and get the and-one play.
Media timeout on the floor. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll hear words from School of Communications and Kevin Adams. It's Fighting Tiger basketball here on the TSU Sports Network. Welcome back to Fighting Tiger basketball here on the TSU Sports Network. Got Kevin Adams, my main man, on the sidelines with Marcus Smith. Let's go to him.
Assistant Dean of School of Communications, Kevin Adams, and also former Texas Southern basketball athlete. Mr. Adams, how are you enjoying this game so far today?
Oh, wonderful. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm going to enjoy it a lot more in the next 8 minutes after we get this win tonight.
You know, at School of Communications tonight, just talk about the importance of this event and us collaborating with athletics for such an event tonight.
Well, it's really the new administration with Dr. Lane, some of the things that he's trying to do is to bring the students back out and to engage more with the athletic department, whether it's basketball or football. We really just want to get the students back out. As you mentioned before, when I was in school 25 years ago, we had 10,000 people in this arena. I mean, you couldn't even get a seat. So he's trying to bring that type of love affair back to Texas Southern, really trying to get the students more involved, and hopefully that being involved, then they will be able to complete in 4 years and 5.
And then final thing before we give it back to Nick and Nikhil, Communications Week coming up for the School of Communication. How big is that week when it comes to advertising and getting the word out to better the recruitment process for future students?
Oh, it's humongous. It's very, that week is where we showcase what we do in the School of Communication. Not only do we have panelists from around the world that come in to talk with our students, to educate them, the internships that are given out. We have high school students that come in on high school day. We have a banquet that we normally do, a reception for our students. So that's our bread and butter. That's the biggest week of the year for the School of Communication, and we're looking forward with it. That's going to be April 17th to the 21st, and make sure you spread the word.
We'll spread the word. Looking forward to that week and looking forward to a Texas Southern victory. Nikhil, Nick, back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Dean Adams, one of my good buddies at Texas Southern. Always takes care of me when I walk up in the MLK building.
Oh, he's a good guy. Great man to talk to. Good, intellectual, smart guy to talk to. He always been good with me.
Fans are voting for the player of the game online as you chat. Make sure you pick your Texas Southern Fighting Tiger player of the contest. Is it going to be Kevin Scott or Trey Jefferson? Or is it going to be Stephen Bennett? Or is it going to be Jalen McLeod? Here's a shot by Davis. He may have some player of the game honors too on the Alcorn side.
Or is it Nick Strong? Hashtag Nick Strong. Let's vote him for the player of the game.
DeAndre Davis, 15 points there for the Alcorn State Braves, leads the Braves. Here's a quick defense on Trey Jefferson. It's to Quaylen Smith. Give me check that, Jawan Henderson. Marquise Vance back into the contest for the Alcorn State Braves. Marquise Vance with 14 points on the night.
And I want to get to what Dr. Kevin Adams said about filling out this arena. You know, the last time I seen every seat filled, literally, back in 2011. You might remember this. Finlay Prep Yates High School, streak was on the line. The year after Yates had that magical run winning the national championship, 60-plus games winning streak was on the line against Finlay Prep. Last time I seen this seat, the stadium filled, every seat filled.
That was a big game?
Huge game.
That was a huge game. I was here for that one.
I was sitting right there in the corner, behind the goal.
Oh, that was you. That was blocking my view, huh?
yeah, it was me.
A quick foul here on the Tigers as they still lead at 66-61. I like to see there's a player who was on that Finley Prep team. Kabongo, I think was his name.
Mike Kabongo.
Oh, yeah.
Mike
Ended up
Kabongo.
going to UConn?
UT.
No, UT. That's right. That's right. Came to UT.
He went to UT. Kind of a good season there, but he kind of fell out once he got to the D-League, tied into the draft. But that was a great Finlay Prep team.
Here's Johnson. And Johnson puts it in for two. 66-63. Tigers lead it by 3 points here. Trey Jefferson looks for Scott. Back to Trey. Trey takes the shot. And the Braves come away with it with a chance to tie. Vance buckets. 66-66, and we've got a ball game here. Zach Lofton with another offensive foul. The referee called it. The other referee called it who was under the basket, but the referee who was right in front didn't even call it. I mean, I'm kind of wondering what's going on with that call.
Questionable call with Kevin Scott. That's the same ref that gave Zach Lofton the tech under the goal. Kind of a questionable call tonight, but you have to get through it and fight through it.
And a quick bucket by Jawan Henderson, the junior from Atlanta, Georgia, gives the Braves a 2-point lead here. Kevin Scott to Walker.
Great
Walker
five.
into the basket. Lamont Walker puts it in for the deuce.
Great find from Kevin Scott. Find Lamont Walker getting his first buckets of the game.
Just under about 5 minutes left to go here in the fourth or in the second half. Johnson. Rebound Davis. As Davis goes up strong and one. The fans aren't happy with the referees here. DeAndre Davis shooting 62% on the year. Misses the and one. Tigers have some work to do. Jalen McLeod handles it. And Jawan Henderson is whistled for the foul there.
You have 4 minutes left in this game. TSU's down 2. You see right now the call's not going your way. You cannot let that distract you and interfere with this game. Don't let the refs get into your head or anything. The foul's not going your way. Keep playing through it. Because you're going to see this down the line maybe if you get past the SWAC championship. You're going to see fouls not going your way sometimes. And it happens. It's basketball. They just have to fight through it, these last 4 minutes and 26 seconds left of this game. You're down 2. You can cut it down to 1 with this free throw.
Jalen McLeod on the season shooting 86% before he walked into this contest tonight. He does it best. Better than anybody else in this ball club. Tigers trail by 1. Here's Henderson. Davis, yes. And Davis just taps it in. Here's the full court pressure. And Tigers trail it by 3. Kevin Scott. Kevin Scott shows you what Nebraska basketball is all about.
I thought he was going to dunk. I thought he was going to get up there and have a poster for himself.
Here's Mosby. Johnson driving baseline, creates his own shot. Rebound Jefferson. Tigers with a chance to take the lead here. Looks right side. Here's Scott going to the lane. Scott off the glass. Bucket. (73-72), and the Tigers take the lead. Media time out on the floor, and the fans are having fun here at H&P Arena. It's School of Communications night. While you're watching Fighting Tiger basketball on the TSU Sports Network. At least you see what's going to be on the replay. This is what it's all about, Akil. The Greeks stepping, the band playing, the cheerleaders cheering, and the fans. Not 10,000 strong, but about 3,000 strong here tonight.
It sounds like it's 13,000 strong in H&P Arena tonight. They know how big this game is. It's 3 minutes left, 19 seconds left in this game. You up 1. Regular season championship on the line.
Braves bring it up the court as they lead by, actually they trail by 1. Johnson to Vance. Vance pulls up. And I'm not sure about that shot, but great job by DeAndre Davis to grab the rebound and 1.
You look at that play right now from Marvin Jones. Questionable call, but that takes out Marvin Jones for the rest of the game.
Let's go live to Marcus Smith on the sideline.
Real quick, guys, final 3 minutes of the basketball game. Coach Mike Davis had one thing on his mind. Rebound the basketball. One stop, that's all they get is 1 shot. You saw that offensive rebound, and now they have the N1. That's exactly what he was talking about. They have to contain them on the boards, guys. If they really want to win this game, the SWAC championship is on the line. One thing, I'm going to say it one more time. Rebound the basketball. Nick, Akil, back to you guys.
Marcus Smith really put an emphasis on the rebound.
Assistant coach Marcus Smith on the sidelines.
He's got a point.
Yeah.
The Braves have been tearing it up on the offensive side of the basketball tonight in the rebound section.
They really have.
Marvin Jones has fouled out tonight, Akil, for the 7th time this year. He leads the team with 7 foul outs now.
Sometimes when you watch Marvin Jones play, you love his hustle. You love his defense. Sometimes when he put his hands up, he tends to come down when he goes up for the block.
TSU comes away with the rebound. They trail 74-73. Got a great ball game here. A lot of seesawing going on. Good old playground basketball. Zach Lofton has 4 fouls, but he makes the next shot. 75-74. And Zach Lofton leads the TSU Tiger scores with 20 points.
Like I said, Zach Lofton coming to this game will be the most important player in this game. 23 points last time he played against Alcorn. He has 20 right now.
Here's Reginald Johnson, put it in the basket for 2. If you're the Tigers, who are you relying on in the stretch right here?
I keep going to the high hand. You have 4 guys in double figures with Jalen McLeod 13, Zach Lofton 20, Trey Jefferson in 13, and you have Kevin Scott with 15 points. It all depends who has the high hand the last 2 minutes of the game.
Jefferson buckets! Trey Jefferson puts the Tigers fans on their feet tonight. 78-76, and the Tigers take a 2-point lead. Kevin Scott with the block. Here come the Tigers. What a ball game. 78-76, the Tigers lead by 2. Here's Jefferson. Zach Lofton playing with Mosby. Lofton to the lane. Lofton finna deuce for buckets. Mosby puts it in for 2. And a quick timeout there by the Braves. Akil, what a good run there by the TSU Tigers. We'll probably take a look at some replays in just a second. But great job by the TSU Tigers to get the ball. Marcus talked about it on the sidelines. He talked about rebounding the basketball, taking possession, getting the ball down the court, setting up some offense, and put it in the basket.
And you've seen that once they rebound, you've seen the possession. It was down 1, 76-75. Trey Jefferson comes down the lane, dribbles the ball down the court, and get their 3-point shot to give them the lead. And you had to love the rebound and the tenacity of the Tigers in this game. As we look at the instant replay right here, we see Trey Jefferson coming down the court, passing to Zach Lofton, dribbling down his defender, passing it down to Kevin Scott, back to Trey Jefferson for the 3. And that was the lead. Buckets right there. You see Trey Jefferson saying to his opponent, let me have this dance with you. Let me have this dance with you. Walk down the court, pass the ball around with the wide open 3.
Fans on their feet here inside the H&PE. 80-78. The Alcorn State Braves, Akil, they played a great contest, streak versus streak tonight. What do you like about the Braves?
Braves is hustling. They fighting. This is a seesaw battle throughout the whole way. I predicted this game would go TSU 83-79. I'm pretty doggone close right now, 80-78, but you got to love the tenacity of Alcorn. They capitalized on the fouls going their way in this second half as well.
Here it is. Big game Saturday night, TSU versus Southern. Make sure you come on out if you can. Make sure you're watching on the TSU Sports Network. Marcus Smith going to catch it with the player of the game. The fans get to vote for the player of the game. I've seen Zach Lofton. I've seen Kevin Scott so far. Fans, you keep voting for the player of the game, and Marcus Smith will find that player of the game right after this contest is over. 80-78. Zach Lofton sets it up. Eight left on the shot clock, and off the foot of Dooling, Trey Jefferson has to get something with it. 6, 5, 4. Jefferson, no. Rebound Alcorn. And the Braves trail by 2. Everybody rises to their feet here in the H&PE Arena. It's Mosby with the fadeaway. No good, no. Bucket. Alcorn ties it. $80-80 is your score. Great job there by the Braves. Cleaning up on the offensive side of the basketball, grabbing the rebounds, Akil, and putting it right back in the basket.
Nick, this is what you play for. 17 seconds left, 80-80. Regular season championship is on the line. The crowd is on their feet.
Let's take a look at the replay right here.
You see Trey Jefferson coming down the court, trying to set up the offense. Kevin Scott comes with the pick, pass it to Zach Lofton. Kind of in the zone with Alcorn State. Goes to the lane, gets a tough shot, knocks it down. 2.5 minutes left in the second half on that replay. One of the key buckets for TSU that has them tied up with Alcorn State.
The Braves, on the other hand, have got to stop the TSU Tigers right here. If you're the head coach of the Alcorn State Braves, who are you keeping an eye on?
Trey Jefferson, because he got to bring the ball down the court. Because with the ball in his hand, ain't no telling what he's going to do. He may pass it to Jalen McLeod, or Zach Lofton, or Kevin Scott. There's 4 scorers on this court right now for the Tigers.
Your 5 Tigers on the floor. Kevin Scott, Trey Jefferson, Lamont Walker, Jalen McLeod, and Zach Lofton. Tigers with a chance to win here. 80-80 your score. Jefferson. Here's Lofton. Lofton, fadeaway, jumper, no good. Rebound Braves, and we've got overtime here in Houston, Texas. $80-80. We'll take a break. When we return, SWAC championship, regular season title on the line. You're watching Fighting Tiger basketball only on the TSU Sports Network.
Uptown Diamond offers an experience like no other. From the 100% customization to the true lifetime guarantee, we identify the traditional 4 C's: cut, color, clarity, and carat.
Welcome back to Fighting Tiger basketball here on the TSU Sports Network. It's overtime here at Kiel, and one thing I don't like, Marvin Jones has fouled out.
That's key. That's big. You got extra 5 minutes of basketball. Now, the key player to look for is Stephen Bennett. Stephen Bennett has to have a marvelous 5 minutes of basketball on the defensive side of the ball and contain Davis on the other side. DeAndre Davis for Alcorn State Braves.
Stephen Bennett and DeAndre Davis tips. And ball is saved by Zach Lofton. Zach Lofton under the rim. Reverse layup. Count the basket.
Great hustle. Great hustle from Kevin Scott on that play.
A.J. Mosby, guarded by Jefferson, going inside. Here's Johnson. Johnson puts it in for 2, 82-82. Tigers and the Braves, not. Take a look at some stats from the game before the overtime.
Well, you see now, the key stat for me is right now 31 bench points for Alcorn State to 7 for TSU. 49 points in the paint for Alcorn, 42 for TSU. Second chance points, Alcorn has 20, TSU has 12.
Zach Lofton adding to that point total. He now has 26. Can he surprise or can he surpass Joyce Kennerson's 30 tonight?
He's capable of doing it. He's the best scorer in all the SWAC. He has 26. He's on pace for 30 in overtime.
Let's go. See, we got Johnson here. Backing down Lofton. Rebound Davis. And the Tigers come away with it. Trey Jefferson. Tigers lead by 2. Here's Lofton to the lane. Lofton off the glass. Count the bucket. Let's go down to Marcus Smith on the sidelines.
Nick Akil, before the overtime period started, Coach Davis was not upset. He said, we don't deserve to be in this position. It's just like he said before. 1 rebound. That last tip is what got him into this period, but the demeanor was only this. Hey, 1 more extra period of play. Now it's really time to take care of business. As you guys see, Zach Lofton's tuned into the game. He's ready to take this game over. We have just about 3 minutes left. Nick Akil, back to you guys.
86-84. Mike Davis in an overtime contest here at the H&P Arena. First place on the line. Tigers win, first place seed. Here's Lofton working on Doolin. Oh my goodness, and almost in the basket. Zach Lofton will go to the free throw line to shoot too.
Going to the free throw line to shoot. Numbers 4 and 5 at the free throw line. 28 points, trying to get 30. And he's capable of doing this every single night. This is the Zach Lofton we've been waiting for. We ain't seen him in the past 2-3 games. Zach Lofton bouncing back from that technical foul early in the first half.
86-84. And the Tigers lead it by 2 here, Akil. Let's break it down so far. Tigers got off to a bad start. The Alcorn State Braves up 15 points. Tigers fight all the way back down at 6 at the half. They had to outscore the Braves by 6. They did that. Going into overtime, that's why we have 86-84 right now. Let's take a look at some of these replays.
And you see Zach Lofton taking over in overtime right now. Got all the points right now for Zach Lofton in the overtime period. Zach Lofton is a key guy. It's not even just him as well, Nick. You have Trey Jefferson with 16, being that floor general, that extended coach we talked about, the maturity level of him. And we see Kevin Scott right now bringing it back out. Jalen McCarty swinging the ball around the perimeter. Zach Lofton driving the baseline, getting the reverse layup. We talked about it again, time and time again. Find a way to get the ball in the hot man's hand. And that's what's going on from the last 2 minutes of the second half going into overtime.
Tigers, Zach Lofton, 28. Number 1, Jalen McLeod with 13. Trey Jefferson with 16. And Kevin Scott with 15. And Stephen Bennett, the big man, this is where he's got to step up at as a big man off the bench.
Exactly. We just seen a replay early. That was the first play of overtime. Kevin Scott saving the ball from out of bounds to give it to Zach Lofton. And Marvin Jones being on the bench is very, very huge. That's why I say look at Stephen Bennett to be the most important guy in overtime. We know what Zach Lofton and Trey Jefferson is capable of doing along with Kevin Scott. Stephen Bennett is the most vital guy in this overtime period for the Tigers if they want to win this championship for the regular season.
Zach Lofton to the free throw line to shoot 2. I've just got a Stephen Bennett vote online for player of the game.
Hey, I'm not mad at that person for voting for Stephen Bennett.
Zach Lofton hits the first free throw. 87-84. Just under 3 minutes left to go here in this overtime period. 88-84. As Sonic the Hedgehog adds up the coins. Here's Doolin. Doolin to the lane. And rebound, Zach Lofton. Yes, he has really made his presence known this semester. Stephen Bennett playing the big man possession. Here's Scott. Scott to the lane. Scott creates his own shot. And there's Bennett. Bennett diving on the floor. And a quick timeout by head coach Montez Robinson of the Alcorn State Braves. We'll keep it right here. 88-84. And it's going to be a quick 30-second timeout. And I think the Braves are going to have the possession coming out of this timeout here.
Yeah, and that was great hustle by number 5, Maurice Howard, diving on the floor to get the quick timeout before they jumped on it to get a jump ball possession. Even though it's going to go Alcorn State's way on that jump ball, but that was great IQ from Alcorn State for calling that timeout.
What are you telling your team right here? If your head coach Montez Robinson inside this timeout, he's got to get a quick bucket right here.
Be a quick bucket. You down for 2 minutes and 9 seconds left in this overtime period. Don't rush the shot. You have to get a key bucket right now if you're the Braves. And right now, I say go to number 4, DeAndre Davis. Exploit that mismatch. 21 points in this game.
Yeah, DeAndre Davis has done it all ways. He's done it from the inside. He's done it from the outside. And I really like the way DeAndre Davis has been playing basketball tonight inside the H&P Arena. Here's Mosby. Just under 2 minutes left to go here. Mosby finds Vance. Vance with the step back. No. And not sure about that shot right there. That could have cost him this contest. Trey Jefferson brings it up the court. Jefferson working on Howard. Here's Scott. Scott to the lane, loses the basketball. Lofton with it. 5 left on the shot clock. Lofton off the bucket, no good. And a rebound. Last touch out of bounds by the Tigers. It will be Brave basketball going from left to right.
Bad possession right there. You try to dribble, a lot of dribbling, not enough rotation, not a lot of flex, not a lot of motion, not a lot of screens in that possession. Bad possession for the Tigers.
Maurice Howard. Guarded by Jalen McLeod from Fort Worth, Texas. About a minute left to go here. Here's Johnson. Stephen Bennett with the rebound. And a quick foul there by number 4, DeAndre Davis from Spotsylvania, Virginia. And now he has 4 fouls. He's got to be careful because he's still in 5-foul territory inside this H&B arena.
And we haven't seen in a long time, Nick, when somebody gets 5 fouls on the opponent's side of the ball, that go sit down music starts coming on, and you'll see this crowd start getting fired up.
Stephen Bennett to the free throw line to shoot 2, shooting 55% on the year. Adds to his average. The lead is now 5 for the Tigers.
Big free throws from Stephen Bennett. Big free throws. He had to knock this one down to make it a 2-possession ball game.
All the way from Lake Station, Indiana. Bennett misses the second. Loose ball, Kevin Scott hustling. And Kevin Scott was whistled out of bounds. Great hustle there by Kevin Scott. Just a couple of shoe sizes too big.
You have to love the hustle from Kevin Scott. Kevin Scott been doing this all game long and really all season long. He wants this game just as bad as anybody else for the Tigers team.
Braves trail by 5. Here comes Howard. Howard had the hot hand in the first half. Johnson is going to be fouled. And that'll send Reginald Johnson to the free throw line. And Zach Lofton fouls out. And he ties Joyce Kennerson tonight with 30 points.
That's big. That's big right now. Zach Lofton's out for the final 43 seconds left of this game. If you're Tigers, you have to finish in this overtime, because you do not want to go to a double overtime missing a lead scorer in Zach Lofton.
2 Tigers have now fouling out. Marvin Jones the first, Zach Lofton the second. Johnson misses the first and the only. Here comes the full court pressure, and Denzel Doolin has to foul Trey Jefferson. He now has 4 fouls. And I think Rex and Tex are getting the fans ready for that 5th foul. Trey Jefferson to the free throw line. Tigers in the double bonus, he'll shoot 2. Misses the first.
These are big free throws. They had to knock it down because Alcorn can shoot the free ball. You do not want to miss this free throw and have Alcorn come down and hit a big 3 and make it a 1-possession game.
Free throw is good. The lead is now 6 for the Tigers. Will they go for the 3 or do they go inside? Here's Doolin. Doolin looks for Vance. Vance wants to create. Vance shoots. Vance off the glass, and he did not call it, but they'll take the 3 and the timeout. 80-97, and the Braves cut the lead to 3. You just talked about it. You give the Braves a shot you put it in the hands of Reginald Johnson or Marquise Vance, who's been hot from the outside tonight. They trail by 3.
And that's the thing, like I said, that free throw shot that Trey Jefferson made the second time around was huge. Because, like I said, Alcorn's going to come back down for a 3. This is the best three-point shooting team overall in all of conference basketball. So, you just seen the 3 from Marquise Vance. Now, you might see a foul from DeAndre Davis, maybe somebody, one of these guys for Alcorn. So if you TSU, who do you go to in this possession to knock down the free throw? You just seen Trey Jefferson go 1 for 2. Now, no Zach Lofton, you have no other choice but to put it in Trey Jefferson's hand.
The referees are talking about something over here on the monitors.
It's a 2 or a 3.
And I think they're trying to figure out if it was a 2 or 3. That could be huge here for the Tigers if it was a 2.
Yeah.
If it remains a 3 ball for the Alcorn State Braves, it's a 2.
That's big.
So they'll take away a point there for the Alcorn State Braves.
Now that's huge now. Now, you had a 1-possession game. You was down 3. Now it's 2-possession game with 28 seconds left. Had no other choice but to foul and try to go for a quick 2 if you get the ball back, or maybe a 3.
See if we can take a look at that replay. Nevertheless, the Tigers lead by 4. And the Alcorn State Braves have got to foul right off.
Nice TSU put in all 5 guys, small ball, that can knock down free throws in. Delonnie Robinson, Kevin Scott, Tyree Bonham, Jalen McLeod, and Trey Jefferson.
Fans still voting for player of the game here. Full court pressure. Here come the Tigers. Jefferson gets it in to Kevin Scott. Here comes the quick foul. No. Jalen McLeod has it in the backcourt, looks for Jefferson. Jefferson, showtime, gives it off to Delonnie Robinson. And there's the foul there by number 5. That's Maurice Howard, his first foul.
Now, that was a good foul for Alcorn because Delonnie Robinson has been in the game all game long. This is his first minute. Now his first touches is coming in 2 free throws with 21 seconds left in overtime.
Delonnie Robinson to the free throw line. He does it better than any other Tiger, shooting at 88%. 36 for 41, now make it 36 for 42. Delonnie Robinson, the transfer senior from Pacific University in California. The University of Pacific, actually.
Yeah.
Used to live out that way.
Oh, really? How was it?
San Jose. Oh, yeah.
Cali stand up.
And they're going to move the fans back just a little bit. Remember a couple of years ago, the fans received a technical foul.
And that's big. You want to get your fans back. You don't want a technical foul in this situation.
That's actually what took the TSU PV game into overtime that year. Here's a quick steal here by the Tigers. Kevin Scott with the hustle points.
If I had a vote, Kevin Scott's my player of the game. Hustle, 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 going along with 15 points. You have to love the tenacity of Kevin Scott throughout this whole 40 minutes plus of basketball.
Kevin Scott to the free throw line, shooting 72%, all the way from Omaha, Nebraska.
Man.
He makes it. 91-86. The Braves have on the floor DeAndre Davis, Reginald Johnson, Marquise Vance, A.J. Mosby, and Maurice Howard, all 3-point shooters. Yes, I said the big men included.
Oh, yeah. You can knock down the 3-pointers.
Kevin Scott knocks down both. 6-point lead. The Tigers will drop back here. They won't let him get the easy shot. Here's Mosby. Shot is blocked by McLeod. Great job by Jalen McLeod to be aware of a 3-point shot that was on the way from the Braves.
Now they knock these 2 free throws down. You can say, hey, the regular season championship is now under TSU's belt. Great win. If they can knock down these 2 free throws and hold on to the lead, because I see miracles happen, nigga. I don't want to talk too soon.
Let's take a look at that replay there.
Just Jalen McLeod getting fouled on that free throw, on that play right there. Now, hey, knock this one down, 7-point lead. It's safe to say right now, Nick, that I think TSU got the championship under their belt for regular season.
93-86, and the Tigers leading by 7. The TSU dynasty continues inside the H&PE Arena. Free throw is made. Marcus Smith on the way to interview the player of the game. Here's Maurice Howard. And a quick two here by the Braves. Trey Jefferson to Kevin Scott. Showtime. And the Tigers win 94-88. Great job by head coach Mike Davis, Akil. They were down at the half, but they made the second half adjustments.
Made the second half adjustment because we know how tough this Alcorn State team is. They was resilient in TSU. The foul calls wasn't going their way, but they stayed composed and they capitalized on the mistakes that Alcorn was making. It was a great game all around for Alcorn State. They cannot hang their heads down. Postseason berth, they can't go, but hey, this was their championship game right here.
Alcorn State led in the first half. They had TSU's number. They pounded the inside. They shot on the outside. Let's take a look at the replays right here.
You see right now, Zach Lofton, he was the man. 30 points, and he was scoring the last 2 minutes of the second half. He was scoring, leading on to overtime, being the key guy for TSU. See coming down right now, you see Trey Jefferson bring the ball down the floor, at least 3 minutes left in that game, in the game clock. Pass the ball to Zach Lofton. Zach Lofton, it was his night all around. 30 points, even though he got fouled out, he was a key component for the TSU team.
On the other side of the basketball, let's take a look. You see the Alcorn State Braves played a great game. They'll bring a good team into the SWAC tournament next week back in Houston. They'll head to Prairie View Saturday night. As we take a look at another couple of replays here on the opposite side, on the TSU side of the basketball, it was Zach Lofton, as we talked about, just going crazy. 30 points, tied Joyce Kenderson's point total tonight.
Yeah, he was going toe for toe with Joyce Kenderson. But this is the game right now. Alcorn TSU. Don't be surprised you see them meet up for a trilogy in the SWAC championship.
The alma mater. And the TSU championship trophy gets into the hands of the TSU Tiger basketball team. Regular season champions, Akil, #1 seed.
#1 seed. We've seen it time and time again with TSU. Now, they know the test is going to begin. They have to finish off in the SWAC tournament and get to the big dance. They have to finish off. Great season, great regular season for TSU. They lost a couple of key guys. They didn't have Brian Carey due to injury. Dan Griffin due to NFL drought. A couple of guys there was missing, a couple of key guys, but hey, they found the way. 15-2 regular season. They have one more game to play though, and that's against Southern this next Saturday.
Now, the alma mater. let's go live over on the sidelines. Got our player of the game, Marcus Smith.
Maroon and Gray player of the game, Zach Lofton. 30 points, 8 in the overtime period before he fouled out with about 43 seconds left. Zach, talk about your performance today.
It was a grind, man. At first, I was a little frustrated with calls and whatnot. Everybody kept me in, and I got a check early for hanging on the rim. Got back into it. My teammates are great, and they got us to swim.
You hit it right on the nose. I was just going to hit at that early technical. You started off great with that dunk, and then the ref called you for lifting up on the rim. How'd you keep your poise out there to come out and play spectacular?
Coach Davis, my teammates, the whole coaching staff, They tell me get together. You can't do that, and get past it. It's done already. You can't cry over spilled milk.
You guys clinched a SWAC regular season title. It was an emotional game from beginning to end. And now, knowing that you have Southern on Saturday after winning the SWAC championship, how do you continue to keep their poise without knowing that you've already won it all and you're just waiting for the SWAC tournament?
We're never content, You get content, bad stuff happens, So we're going to go in there and try to act like that's a championship game, Get the same energy we gave here tonight.
Congratulations on the win, Zach. Go cut that net down, man, and enjoy it. Let's get back at it on Saturday, all right? Nick Akil, back to you guys.
Thanks a lot. That was player of the game there, Akil, Zach Lofton, all the way from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Great job by that guy tonight.
Great job from Zach Lofton. I'm looking at the player of the game. I think this game cemented him to being not only the best scorer in SWAC and not the best player, but SWAC player of the year. 30 points in a big game for the regular season championship because they knew Alcorn was going to come in with vengeance. They haven't beat them in 10 years. So they know who's on the line. Great game from Zach Lofton, 30 points.
As they cut the nets down here tonight at Texas Southern University, Tigers take it in overtime fashion. People were on their seats here at the half. People were on their seats at the end of the fourth quarter. Trey Jefferson with a chance to win the contest. It went into overtime, and everybody didn't know what to do. People said Alcorn. Who was Alcorn? 11 wins in a row. That's who Alcorn was.
The hottest team in basketball. The hottest team in SWAC basketball, 11 games in a row. And it's hard to be the team that has momentum rolling and knowing that something's on the line. Alcorn has something on the line tonight, but TSU said no. We was down double digits. It was one of them great championship games that you would love to see, and it was a great performance from TSU all around. And not only just Zach Lofton as well. You've seen double figures with Trey Jefferson. Trey Jefferson, the maturity, the growth. You've seen game by game from Trey Jefferson being that leader. Because in the beginning, when he came in non-conference, he had to get adjusted. He had to get acquainted to the team. And then once conference play rolled around, you start to see the maturity, game by game, from Trey Jefferson. Game by game, each game you've seen him being that leader, that on-court coach that this team needed. He had to put his ego to the side, along with many others on the team, and say, hey, great performance from Trey Jefferson.
Let's go on the sidelines to head coach Mike Davis and Marcus Smith.
Here with Texas Southern head coach, Coach Mike Davis. Coach, real quick, I know it's a great time right now. You guys just clinched the regular season title, but it was a nail biter. What were you thinking?
We got our third championship in a row, and that's really big in this league because you have to play so many games in a row, 9 road games, 9 home games, and for us to do it 3 straight years is really big.
Coach, one of the things that we always talk about is the tough non-conference play to get these guys ready for this type of play. And year in and year out, it helps them to see all your hard work pay off and to know that you're not done. What do you tell the guys after a big win like this?
Well, we got another game on Saturday. We're trying to get better. We wanted to win the championship. We did that. But our main goal is to get better for the conference tournament.
And talking about getting better over there in the huddle, one of the things you were harping on was rebound. Rebound. Get the rebound. We saw that tip in that ended up putting us into overtime. What are you going to clean up looking towards the game against Southern on Saturday?
Well, we just got to have some toughness, and we got to give great effort, and we got to have more alertness to what's going on in the court. And we can master those 3 things, then we become a better basketball team. But the last 2 games, we've been out rebound. We need all 5 guys to rebound the basketball.
Well, Coach, savor the moment tonight. Get back at it tomorrow and Saturday. Get ready to wrap the season up.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Nick, Akil, back to you guys.
That'll do it from the H&P Arena tonight. Akil, your final thoughts on the Texas Southern University Fighting Tiger basketball team?
Great performance a great season, clinched #1 seed now. The ultimate test, the SWAC championship. I'm looking forward to seeing that next week in the quarterfinals here in the H&PE Arena.
Well, we'll all be looking forward to seeing Saturday night versus the Southern Jaguars in that first round game Tuesday night, doubleheader, women's and men's, here inside the H&P Arena, first round SWAC tournament. That'll do it tonight for the TSU production team, the university, Texas Southern University, my sideline reporter Marcus Smith, executive producer Jeremy Tillis, and my color announcer, my main man, student here at Texas Southern, Akil Williams. I'm Nick Strong. Thank you for watching Fighting Tiger Basketball here on the TSU Sports Network.